Hey guys, my name is Caleb Williams, and this film you're going to actually see why I actually want to bring in the Salagavania movement to power. But before that, please rise for our national anthem. Oh, you know what? We're probably gonna have to sing the national anthem of Limberwisk first. I've been meaning to actually sing the national anthem of Limberwisk for a long time, basically, to bring it in fruition. Anyways, so here it goes. That damn ad is already here. Let's just go. Sorry, everyone. We're gonna have to get down with difficulty, basically. Control. 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 And that was the national anthem of Limberwisk. Now is basically the time that we're gonna have to go with the national anthem of our nation, Salagavania, with gibberish that I made up in my head. Tanya Tiga Za Join Just Carganya Tarya Tanya Boy Tanya Tarani Boy Toria Ramaya One Das Ordat lebt, dat Margoya. Tante, Toya Moyer, Kirada, Tramo, Sran, Uni, Chamo, Tar, Afuna, Aranya. Salagavania. Poraniet, Jarnaimata, Toimatia. Toima, Saro, Sargani, Bato, or Taragoy, Wasabi, Eterno, Sargo, Laradi. And that was basically the national anthem of Salagavania. Basically, taken from the funeral songs of General Kimmel's song. Sorry, but it had to happen. Basically. Anyways, you might be wondering why I'm actually planning to actually make Salagavania the official recognized nation of basically geography now. The reason it all started when basically I had to do an April Fool's video about geography. It all started when Geography Now released an April Fool's video about the Geography Now, basically. I was expecting a full-long video like, any of these things. The flags over here are basically the nations, and here are some outliers as well. PGC Bray is here, and then there's Geometry Now, which was sponsored by Bandia Terror Government. I wanted it to be like this, but instead we got this.
Sisi kwa ntumbwa itimimbakala. Utono. Nasa palagantinti. Pero manaika. Kumana ziti. Aita ma iska na otuchu chimgi. Moskora arata tiri mamai paita astera mintutu tichis mendagaistita. Burstanda se timpa pal ikul ul. Kitalachitu motoko. Ichotopo akatalama o sumala may tindindi palakatusuhu mga tainga. Halay o khona pazana la patotusus talais kamarodo manyanyay. Puro pataday. Moro paska in ein on uto en manais kishkono. Marabenimiti te marapasukunom en eilashim ulkul. Pero kantiti askala iuskudo lama. Itimela on anestiminititi manakunum izala ukundundu. Izunjumaya na hara inimena hara otomangay. Nazamay naman ng zizi. Paskola hichi amanaya monoko. Panay zigi la hoko na may toto. Zigi. Zanala. Moto. Zanala. Ay tamazuzu ay pala.
Yeah, this was clear in April Fool's video. I was really confused. I was really confused at first. Basically, I wanted a world map of this. But then I basically had to turn out I didn't need any world maps. I only had to rotate some stuff. And it was all thanks to knowledge. These are basically the maps. I literally had to rearrange the maps that he had to choose on Geography Now to actually do these, to actually expose the entire magic, basically. to see what the maps actually are. First one was the main nation territories are basically Asia, which was obvious. And then there was basically the Oceania, which was basically obvious. And then I had to turn that section upside down, and it was actually Scandinavia, the region where Limburg is. And then I had to basically turn things around. It was actually the Caucasus, which was basically nice, basically. And then there we have the other sections. And I didn't know what this was. It could have probably been Siberia/Buryatia, aka somewhere in Asia. And there was this. Tried orienting it, but there was no clue about it, where it was basically. Figure would be Southeast Asia, but that doesn't work. If you have any ideas, let me know. And finally, there was the Caribbean Sea, which was actually here, basically. I knew it was gonna happen. So, and here's the official flag of Salagavania, which was basically, and it was the it was originally called Salagavania, but somehow it got disjoined to Salagavania. It's still called the Empire, because it was an empire of sorts. So they basically colonized all of this, and if it were decolonized, it would still exist as a nation. Also, I still have that Palestine necklace. I got the Palestine necklace from Dearborn, and I still support Palestine. This nation is basically the flag. This is basically the official flag of Salagavania, which is basically the nation I had. But you do know that the flag is basically older than the nation itself. The flag was older than this created nation itself. This nation basically does not basically exist, and it's basically just a headcanon of geography now. But I still want it to be the official name of geography now, basically. I posted this basically 1 year ago, and this is the official, and this was basically the flag that I created. So as you can see, it basically existed before I actually went into this cram. It was basically modeled on a true south flag, which is basically Antarctica, since Antarctica is the opposite of Greenland, and this is the opposite of Limburg. And I just kind of thought that someone would create lore for this, or maybe just have territory is like TAAF. Probably the French Southern Antarctic lands, but independent. Yeah, it will probably be like this. This was made way back in 2022, and as you can see, it is basically the Greenland and Antarctica flag. Don't know what just happened here, but I can only say that this is only. This is literally the entire version. You can see that basically the green. I put the green on Greenland because it was originally named Greenland, even though it wasn't green. And I put the orange in Antarctica because Antarctica's flag used to be orange and was designed by Whitney Smith, the same guy who designed the same flag on the flag of Guyana. And even current flags actually have Chile and Argentina's as Antarctic territorial claims have have orange and blue on their flags, as basically as I'm about to see here. Antarctica 1970s flag. This is basically Whitney Smith's flag. This is the orange where I got the. It is where I got the orange from, basically. And it's where I eventually had to basically. I used that inspiration from that flag to actually create a persona like that girl from the French Revolution poster, or the Statue of Liberty, or Uncle Sam, or that guy, Eitan Bull, or Hannibal, all representing Palestine, or any of these other people who represent. It's basically the country. Oh, it's after the national personifications that exist. It just personifies in the Western world. and is now everywhere, basically. I'm still trying to find this. I'm still trying to find this. I'm still trying to find this. Still trying to find this. Still trying to find this. And it looks like I've gotten to the bottom of the barrel. I need to find it closely. Aha! This is Frigores. She was a person who was a madrigal of flags. And this is her face. It also serves as an inspiration of my very own persona flag, which is what I had to need. Okay. Which is right over there. Which I have right over there, as you can see. Yes, the flag is beautiful, and it's on. And as you might have known, this is my first video, actually. This is my first video shot in the college dorm room. The most out of despite the shorts, which is unlike the shorts, basically. Yeah. So it's basically, it just represents, the orange represents my fashion for Antarctica, the green represents chocolate, the city I was born in, and the hands represent the care for the world. And peace. The blue heart represents my love for geography, and way back then, it used to be my love of traveling as well. It also doubles as a harkening for peace, because the heart is due in blue. The C that represents my favorite letter and what it stands for. It came from North Carolina. The color is the same as the fire symbol for Beacon College, and the orientation of the dial resembles one version of the flag West Alphones. A call back to the times of my childhood innocence. So, the creator of West Alphone, the West Alphone says that this is the official flag because it basically because of the resilience and coolness of the people, basically. But it just breaks the rule because of too many symbols and the words, but it's still the greatest. This is a little bit more better, but not that perfect enough. But at least it and North Carolina as well inspired my alternate designs for basically my personal flag. Here it is, basically. But we have been sidetracked and need to go on. Anyways, I've actually implemented the entire. I have noticed that the flag of Limberwisk basically had the colors of orange and blue on there, just like Antarctica had. Just like Antarctica has blue but doesn't have orange, so needed to create a flag I needed to create a flag that had the red and green, just like Greenland, which had the red but didn't have the green. The model on there was True South. Basically, the flag that had the model on was basically the True South flag, which is basically the flag of Antarctica, basically. It's not that official yet, but Graham Bartram actually designed the flag for Antarctica, and but that flag is very inaccurate, so they had to create the True South. But he refused to actually leave the flag behind and create a new design and go with the True South design. And so he went on and had to go. And so he had to go on and So you have to basically go onto the entire commodities and just create an entire commodities of literal craziness, cower off, and basically you go create this. This to create the awareness of microplastics. And it's basically a crazier fluff than expected. Yup, this is literally the flag of Antarctica. I posted on Reddit, basically, where I could actually see where the vexillol. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, I posted that crime on Reddit, and basically it was crazy about the Antarctica. So I had to basically tinker some things and basically had the Antarctica and create an anti-limber this and had the basal and voila! It is basically the anti-limberwhisk was created. I had to put that down and basically keep it right over here for basically 1 year until April Fools came. And that was when I already had to get into this entire commodities and become an entire algorithm nation. And then I got into the entire schmuck of actually creating Salagavian propaganda to drain your ears. Even commenting on the YouTube video that released on Jarvin now. And if Barbs, if you're watching this Salagavania is an official nation. And you just talked about Salagavania on the video, even though you haven't noticed it. So give us your recognition now, and we'll give you a compromise. We will spare you. We will spare your life. This was the first time that I actually had to recognize Salagavania as basic nation. Salagavania, the first post. It was posted 2 days ago, and it was when I had to create a chant. It was when I had to create an entire nation. It said, "All hail the Empire of Ice and Snow, Salagavania, the anti-limberwhisk." And then I created another post saying, "Jarvie now, please recognize us as a nation," with the background no longer transparent. You can see the stuff that I was trying to say. I was literally trying to say that the maps were basically decoded, but somehow I can't because I had the opinion to actually listen to an actual nation. And then I created lore for it saying that this used to be the flag of Salagavania, and I created an old one. And I created an old one and then there was the old one that we scrapped because it sucked. Basically, it was based on the Graham Barton Antarctica, on how it used to be the actual flag for the people. But then they had to switch to True South flag because the Graham Barton flag sucked, and it was unoriginal. And I created this post saying it was the nations of beauty. There was Greenland, Limberwhisk, Antarctica, and Salagavania. Greenland is basically a part of Denmark, and Antarctica is already occupied by 8 different nations, and the United States and Soviet Union, even though they don't actually currently have any plans to claim this land, but they will in the future. But they will do that by 2048. It's obvious that Mary Bertland is obviously going to go to the United States of America, but the United States of America declined because they want to make sure that the superpowers are gone, and they want to make sure that the coast is clear. And there's also Brazil, who has an unofficial claim of Antarctica, and is sure that unofficial claims basically. They have unofficial influence over the land. And don't worry about those research stations that are here. And then there's the mighty Salagavanya, with its 4 major provinces and how it's called. Terzinak, Monchach, Brift, and Thorsha. And here are their old names. There's Limberwest Hush language, Greenland, and its old native language, Kala, native Virgin, Kalahit Nunat, Antarctica, and its old name Terra Australis. But Salagavania is special because it has wit and greatness. And then I created an Instagram post and Facebook post and anywhere post to say the least. Except for Twitter and some other websites. You're not going to get these anyway. And we had to admit it, but Barbs even had to actually like this post on Instagram. And then retracted that because he knew it was pretty crazy. You can't ignore us forever, Barbs. We can't ignore us forever. You can't ignore us forever. Basically, there are 2 nations and 2 destinies. And we also created a propaganda poster for basically the 2 nations having 2 destinies. You could see it basically here. It will come basically. Here you can see the 2 nations on 2 flagpoles. Here you can see the 2 nations and the 2 destinies. Greenland and Limborsk, in the style of New Hebrides. Yes, you, Limborskian, you, the people of the Kalalit, Kalalit, and the people of the entire, and Limborskians, the people of Limborsk. You and I are our brothers, separated by the entire mist of colonialism. We are one, and we are people. Even though Limborsk, you have not been conquered for many centuries. You are as sovereign as you are. And we are as sovereign as you, We are Salagavanians, and you are Limborskians. We may be different, but we, for one, are at the same coin. Then we created many Instagram. Then we created the polls where we had to vote on whether or not Salagavania would be recognized as a nation of daffodils in the year 2025 by Geography Now. You responded. The 5 of you responded yes, while none of you responded no. And then I took a break to celebrate Autism awareness. That sucks that I'm not going to be celebrating it. I really want Autism awareness to be pretty perfect. Just like all because of Antarctica. Yeah, autism awareness. I'm a neurodivergent person, and I do respect the people of autism awareness and neurodivergent. This is the month of autism awareness and autism and neurodivergent awareness, and that autistic people have done great things the entire years. Like the one person who actually wanted to go through the entire tunnel that the cows were going through, but she actually had empathy for cows because they actually saw that their native home were actually going to be transformed into a nightmare and a hell house for the last minutes of their lives. So she took up on herself and created concepts so that the cows wouldn't suffer again. Autistic people are pretty nice. I'm autistic basically. And that's why I had to create, but that's not why. Anyways, I created another poll saying that which nation is better, Salagavania or Limberwisk. The 6 of you have responded Salagavania, while 1 of you have responded with Limberwisk. No one responded at first, so I created a follow-up post saying, "You are not responding. Respond now, or I'll stick to your school lock." This is our vow. This is our plea. Salagavania and Limberwisk pair for one. And then I posted this 5 hours before the entire commitment. The Salagavania ministry has given you a task, and I believe that you should complete the task too. And I believe that you should still aim for a task. The task tells you that you have to go to every Geography Now video and post this comment. Salagavania forever! Say this in full detail and full Godspeed with sincerity. We must spread the message through to get the geography now channel to notice us. Geography now can't ignore us forever. The comment ban will begin now. And remember, Salagavania is a nation that exists. And then, the Salagavanian ministry has already asked of you to change the profile pictures into the official and glorious flag of Salagavania and the 4 provinces/colonies. Drizayek, Nontab, Brupat, and Forse. If anyone opposes the movement saying they were separate countries, fight back. They only want them to acknowledge that they are just mere provinces of their glorious land. It was crazy. I was committed to actually giving Salagavania an official footing on the world of April Fool's nations, like Bandiatera and Salvantak, and maybe even Patch Amberdash. So I had to write an official letter to Paul Barbs. It was very official looking. This is why I sent it to you on the mail. This is why I sent Barbs on the mail. And then I sent the suspiciously same thing to Reddit soon after that. Yes, these are the letters that I have sent to you, people of Hush and netizens of Geography Now, and their leader, Paul Barbs. All hail Salagavania, the empire of empires. And this is the official flag, and I've sent them the flag of Salagavania, the anti-Limborsk. It's a fictional flag, and I created it for the people of the Salagavanians. And then I went to Pull and Ball official YouTube. Oops, yeah. And there was a live stream. A live stream where it had to take place where Aaron had to draw the pull and balls. Welp, he never draw. I suggested that he would draw a Salagavania. And there he never drew the Salagavania. He thought I basically told him that it was the official Geography Now April Fool's Nation of 2025. He searched up there and there was none. This is the post they had to say. It devastates me that they do not recognize us, recognize the Salagavanian nation. This is a big fail for Salagavania, the empire of empires. So I prompted you to spam them on every live chat at this. Salagavania deserves to be recognized by all, and make sure that they it had to be made sure that they recognize the nation. And then I told them on the chat that at this. Yeah. We want Salagavania! We want Salagavania! And they had to oblige. However, Aaron did not budge, and soon he had to close the chat due to spams. Someone told the people to actually make the official ball for them. And so he did. This is a sign, Pull and Ball TV channel, that you have failed us. This is a sign, Pull and Ball official YouTube channel, that you have failed us. I don't even know if I'm about to do this for an entire month. I don't even know if I'm going to do that takeover hostile-like thing for an entire month. It might take over my entire self, or make a mental health out of this, or maybe even do this. But this is literally the commitment that I'm about to make, basically. I just want to actually create things that I want to create, and not actually create YouTube posts, and not actually do 1 month of this. I do not want an entire month of this. Heck, I do not want to do a hostile takeover, for some reason. So I'm doing. I think the video series is going to actually make sure that Salagavania gets verified as a nation that has a right to exist and a right to have an empire spanning across the globe. But I also want to keep my channel up and actually post stuff, and rather go on YouTube posts. So I've already decided to do the option of voting on the polls whether or if Salagavania would take over the CJ Williams YouTube channel or not. And if you don't vote, then Salagavania will take over the YouTube channel. I really hope that my mental health would be well. I haven't felt like me for last week on Thursday night and Friday night. The lack of sleep was making me a little bit too crazy, and the timing was pretty bad. But basically, I'm doing my best to actually try to retain my knowledge. Also, I haven't uploaded a video in a while, all since December 2024, which was about Dark Prime. But saying this Salagavania will live on forever, and it won't be ignored ever again. The political issue has already been absolved, and we will be here to fight until victory, until Ballpark realizes that Salagavania will be a nation of 2025, and has the territory spanning all across the entire globe, just like the nation that is Geolandia. And probably Patch Emberdash, but that one has already been absorbed by Geolandia. So I want you to spam on every single comment of every single video that you could probably get your hands on, whether if it's acceptable or not, to say this: Salagavania shall live forever! And probably on every Geography Now video ever, and probably every Poland Ball official video, especially those two, probably, I guess, in time. Say this: Hail to the Salagavania! Change your profile picture to the Salagavanian flag, and probably change your name, and probably speak the Salagavanian language. That means like I'm doing right now. Do you even understand Salagavanian? I don't know. Anyways, you are now official. If you're watching this, congratulations! You now understand the nation of Salagavania. If you have actually changed your profile picture to Salagavania, congratulations! You are now officially citizens. And if you actually change the name, and if you contribute much enough, congratulations! You are officially the diplomats of the Salagavanian channel. The hostile takeover will probably there. Anyways, time is running. Time is running out, and it runs like an entire horse without chains. Thank you, and thank you. May you be well fed, and may Salagavania live forever. Thanks for watching. I don't even know if I can actually do this. I don't want to sacrifice myself for this. Anyways, thanks for watching my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow or sometime. I don't know. Salagavania forever!